In a world where the podcast multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little, two dudes must become something greater than themselves, something elemental, something terrifying. A podcast. With great podcasting, there must also be great responsibility. To show the multiverse that it's full of people ready to believe in good. The multiverse will hunt us. They will send the dogs on us, because that's what needs to happen. But it won't be ready to hear from us. Not us, united.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the episode. This week, we are joined by two special guests. We have both of the sisters coming on. My sister, Nick's sister. You've already met Nick's sister, and you've met my sister too. She was on a movie draft episode. So we're just like combining all the
This
houses
is like the
here.
Avengers of
Yeah.
Not Us United.
You ever seen like Avengers Endgame, but like on a way less budget scale? That's this.
Yeah. One of
I
them is
mean-
like getting their powers in the desert of Arizona,
Yeah.
and the others are like assembled in a tower in Iowa.
In a cornfield.
That's right, in a cornfield.
You know, we have the snowbirds, the summer haven. You know, we work together.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
We matter too.
There was an idea of bringing two families together
Oh my god.
to fight the battles that the people never could.
Yeah, and that's happening tonight.
It is.
It's a special night, not only because we have the families coming together, but we're talking about one of my favorite movies of all time, in Arrival. And I know, Christine, you share a similar sentiment.
I do 100%. These are probably two of the best movies I've ever seen. Oh, wait, we're talking about Arrival only. I spoiled it. My bad.
You're fine. You're fine. We're gonna do some
We
Denis
suck.
Villeneuve deep dives.
We're
so
gonna,
talk
yeah, we're
about
doing
other
a
movies as well.
double Toil and Trouble on Denise. So we'll be doing Arrival, and then look forward to a Prisoners episode coming at some point in time
That's
in a
right.
month
Yes.
or so. So yeah, I think maybe we'll do like a little non-spoiler review of Arrival.
Mm.
And I think we would like to start. I think Christine, did we watch this movie together when we first?
Yes,
We saw, yeah.
we saw this movie together.
hmm
Yeah.
And take us through your thoughts of like coming into the movie. What is like, why, like, just like, how did it make you feel? Just
Yeah.
give me a little rundown.
Did
You
Michael
know?
cry first?
Yeah.
Just
Well, you know, I always like to spoil all the secrets on Michael, and he really likes to put me on the spot about these movies.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
He always, you know, tell me how you feel.
Well,
Well,
hey,
actually-
throw him under the bus as much as you want.
This
Well, the
is a
first
safe
time
space.
I saw it myself, by myself, and I'm the one who told Michael to watch it. And
That
so
is
I
true.
went home and we watched it together. And so I actually saw the movie 100% by myself, and it was, I thought, fantastic. And I like drove home in a trance, and I immediately called my brother. I was like, Michael, you have to watch this movie. And so we went home and we watched it together. And then I drove him home while he was in a trance.
So wait, you watched it 2 times in a single day?
No,
it was 2 times
within,
in like a
like-
week.
Oh
Yeah.
wow! But still,
I was at
Ooh,
college
yeah.
in a different town for a while.
you guys
for
are
like,
emotionally healthier than I'll ever be. I don't know if I can watch Arrival twice in the same.
I don't know if that makes them emotionally healthier.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, you guys.
I
Are,
like to be emotionally damaged, you know?
Yeah.
I like
Fair
it when
enough.
it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I very much the movies that I remember the most are the movies that impact me, and the ones that like I when I'm going home, I'm like I just can't stop thinking about them. And Arrival
Mm.
was definitely one of those. I was in like a different state, and then like just like and just I just
Literally and figuratively in a different state.
yeah, oh yeah, and I am now no longer in that physical state of the United States. But it's just like it. I love when movies just make me rethink and just mull over them and just puzzle them out. And like it, this one really more than probably most other movies out there has left me emotionally just like impacted, and I still cry to this day
Got it.
over this movie. And I think there's just a pure beauty to this movie that I think is unmatched. So
Amen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
this-
the
oh, go ahead.
I just think the story is really moving, and it really makes you think, like, would you make that same choice, that same decision, and the implications of what the story is about. It just really leaves a mark on you and really
Mhm.
makes you think about the bigger picture and time and your life and just everything as a whole in in the world. And I think it's a really beautiful story, and I think it's his best movie. So
He being
Dang.
Denis Villeneuve.
Denise Villeneuve, yeah,
Dang.
Wow.
Any
big
rebuttals from
words.
the Cruzits Prisoners fans over here?
Canceled.
What are your thoughts, Kens?
um. Oh no, it's awesome. I'm sorry. It's so hard to not talk about this like we're not pitting them together because
That's
we
okay.
are. It's what we're doing.
If you want to
we could.
say like things that you like about another movie, but I would just save a lot of your prisoner stuff for that episode.
Oh yeah.
But why don't you just say why you like it rather than why it's maybe not as good as?
Yeah. Well, I will say the first time I watched Arrival, it didn't stick out to me. It was one of those that I had to watch the second time to really like let it sink in or something.
Mhm.
But sometimes when there's like an extraterrestrial like aspect to it, it takes me two times to kind of like
Mhm.
the first time I have to get over the fact that it's like
Mhm.
otherworldly, and then the second time I can watch what it's really about.
Yeah.
The second time is when it sank in that it was really about kind of like family and love.
Correct.
Similar to like Interstellar.
Yeah.
Like
Sucks.
Yeah, this we're gonna do a separate hot take topic, and let's just say
Whoa. Did you just say Interstellar sucks?
Big facts, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
before we open up
Let
the
me just stick
floodgates.
my fist through this microphone. Wait, what? Why did no one
Oh,
warn me
no.
about this?
I should have said something.
oh no, it's falling
The
apart.
triggered word. Oh, no.
You really
Yeah.
you attacked me here.
Okay, pause. Continue, Kenzie.
We'll
Let's
come back.
keep
I
We'll
moving.
circle
don't
back.
know how
We'll circle back.
to.
We'll circle back.
I need a moment.
Okay, I understand.
I'm
No.
sorry. You can have
You're
your
right though.
moment.
Like this is very much a movie that uses the sci-fi element, but it's really it starts and ends as a family movie.
Yeah.
It just happens to have a sci-fi
Yeah.
element in between.
Yeah.
You might have just been added to Kenzie's list.
You
so
are on my list,
the-
little Missy. What's
the
your name
next-
again? Let me write it down.
Uh,
No, but it is comparatively similar because it's like, you know,
correct.
at face value it's a space movie or an alien movie or whatever, but in the end it's kind of about family and love, and I like that you can like tie those two together. Or I like that you can tie those two together and like, come out thinking it's more about love and family rather than
Right.
the big thing that's going on the whole time.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So I do love that about Arrival. I think it's great.
Yeah, I think one of the beauties is definitely that in Arrival, and like, there's like this just like juxtaposition and scale of this movie with these giant ships and these huge aliens, but really it's a small story of like family and of love,
Right.
and I think that's a really beautiful thing and something that like isn't seen often because like in an alien invasion movie, it's like Independence Day. We're like, okay,
Mhm.
here comes the aliens, gonna blow everything up, and then
America.
we shoot, 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 and we win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like almost, I think, a realistic take on how an alien
Yeah.
invasion would
Yeah.
occur.
And it does
Yeah.
tackle there are people that want to do the Independence Day reaction to it of the alien invasion. It's
Mhm.
like, so get ready to nuke. It's like we don't even know what's going
Yeah,
on yet,
And you
right?
know what? That's like,
Because there's a
I
bunch of
love
them.
you too. I really do.
Yeah.
But that is such the man point of view, is like, oh my God, I'm scared. I'm going to fire a gun. And it's like, the girl's like, hold on. Why don't we try to speak to them first?
Yeah.
Like, and Arrival has a really good, like, feminist kind of point of view about it too, where she's like, he's like, hurry up and figure out what they want. And she's like, okay, so we have to talk in a sentence. We don't know if they know
That
what a sentence
explanation
is.
scene's
We don't
insane.
know if they
Yeah.
know what actions are.
Yeah.
So if I ask them what they're here for, they might not know what the word what means. So
Right.
this is going to take time. And I love how she like,
Mhm.
I mean, obviously we'll get into that later. This is already kind of diving deep in, but
Right.
I
Yeah.
love that it's very like a woman's point of view of like, this takes time, this takes patience, this takes a process, where the men are like, come on, I want my answers right now.
Mhm.
And it's like, we have to put in the work to get that,
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
That's cool.
And that whole thing actually happens at the end of the movie. There's a whole misconception misconception about a word that is used. So the whole
Yeah.
thing she's talking about the entire time actually happens.
Right. And
Yeah.
it totally changes the context of everything. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's wild.
Hmm.
This is just me trying to bring Dune up in the
Oh
podcast.
gosh.
Oh god.
Classic Nick.
I just feel
Ugh.
like this movie, trickled so that the spice could flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This movie did a big alien invasion, so Dune could also do a big alien
Yeah.
invasion.
This was Denis' ticket into doing Dune, I think.
Yeah. Well, this and Blade Runner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Blade Runner.
Well, Blade Runner is more orange, I agree. But but
There's
this
some sand
feels
in there.
like otherworldly, whereas Blade Runner still
Hmm.
feels like it is technically like more cyberpunk and stuff like that. But
Yeah, that's fair.
all of it still feels kind of.
That's a fair point. I just think I think Denis, as shown in his other movies like Prisoners and Sicario,
Yeah.
he can go outside of sci-fi, but I think he feels very safe in sci-fi with
Yeah.
Arrival and Dune and Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I think those are his three best.
But I do like drama in something that is typically a genre where it's like
Sure.
point gun and shoot.
Yeah,
We have to get out of here.
yeah,
They're going to kill us,
Yeah.
like, or whatever. And this just has so much heart, which I think we've
Mhm.
always said about his movies. And so any movie that leads Dune to being in existence, hey,
the Spice Must
I'm
Flow.
all for. It's gonna get my vote. So
Well, and I think that's what gets those movies up for nominations too, is if, at face value they're an action movie or a horror movie, but when you dig, like they actually have also a storyline and depth to them
Sure.
that, because like horror movies nowadays are getting up there too. Midsommar, huge deal because it's
I already have
psychological.
PTSD from you saying that word.
It's huge.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like if you add more than one element, that makes it so much more interesting.
Yep.
More fun.
Yeah, and I think that's what he does is like, I'm gonna take this thing that's wild
Mhm.
and I'm gonna make it relatable somehow.
Right.
And that's a gift,
Mhm.
I mean, obviously somebody wrote the story and he directed it, but
I just think his
Good
movies
on him.
have so much heart to it and so much more complicated. It makes you think. All of his movies make you think at least. And I think very few directors are doing that currently nowadays. Um, Christine, do you want to add anything maybe before we move on to a kind of a spoilery talk?
No, I would agree. I think that he's just a really good storyteller, and all of his movies, I think, are all fantastic. But I would agree that I think his science fiction movies, to me, are better. I enjoy Blade
Mhm.
Runner a lot. I enjoy Dune a lot. I thought Dune was incredible. I
Oh,
think that he has a.
Sorry, I haven't seen
I'm
that
singing some
movie.
Phantom of the Opera song all of a sudden.
Oh, God.
Christy.
Don't
I
get
mean,
me
it's my
started on
name.
Phantom
Don't
of the
worn
Opera.
out. Don't forget it. But I agree. I just think that these movies, I enjoy movies more when they leave me with this feeling that Arrival left me with. Like, I have never had the same feeling as when I finished Arrival, where I literally had to think about what I would do and
Mm,
like how would I really make the same choices and the same decisions if I knew
Yeah.
something about my life.
yeah,
And
and it's about a topic that hasn't even happened or may never happen
Right.
to us, but it still makes us go, what would I do
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
this fictional situation?
Would you rather?
Yeah, would
You
you
know what
rather
I mean? Like
if a
that
big
that's insane.
black bean pod came from the sky and had aliens with 7 arms and couldn't communicate and shot liquid out of their hands? Would you get married or something?
they write circular sentences. It's very, very interesting, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the
Mhm.
the ring of marriage, That's what that's how they communicate.
But the ring has holes.
We're going on levels. We're going on levels, dude. We're popping up.
Side note,
So-
I just want to double check we are recording, correct?
Yeah. we're
Okay,
recording,
sick.
yeah.
It says you're recording.
Okay, cool,
yes.
cool. I just can't see the
So
screen.
IMDb with over 600,000 reviews says this is a 7.9 out of 10.
Yeah, that's the worst I've ever heard. It should be at
Yeah,
least
it's
a
a
10.9.
10 out of 10.
A 10.9.
Holy shit, these clowns.
I mean, do you remember the score of this movie? Because it is incredible.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
Yeah, it won an
lovely.
Oscar
I
for it,
don't
I think.
disagree. I don't disagree with that.
let me just say.
Or sound editing. Sound editing.
Oh my god, scoring is so important. Like this is one of those movies where you're like, holy shit, scoring is
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
important.
You should watch Dune because they do the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like it's yeah.
Dune
Christine, have
kills
you
it.
ever seen Interstellar? Do you want to talk about scoring,
Oh, you want to talk
girlfriend?
about how that score sucks? My
Oh
ass?
God, Christine! I need to keep
Girl,
a
drive up
friendship
here, I'm
with
gonna
my
fight you.
sister. Please.
Don't you worry, I'll
Somebody
comment.
help
Don't
me,
you worry, I'm gonna
please.
get over there.
Oh my god, I thought we'd be friends. Now I just don't think it can happen.
No, we can be
Interstellar.
friends who just disagree on this topic. This
Mm,
one
Okay.
specific
mhm,
topic,
You
and
know-
only this topic.
We will have to dive into that, just you
I
and
think
me, if you
we'd
don't
bring
mind.
the four of us back to
Oh
talk
yeah, we
Interstellar.
need that thing. That
It
seems
has
like it needs to happen.
I mean,
Oh,
I can already
yes.
hear the people
No, I
clamoring
really,
for it.
I'm really curious to know why you feel this way. I really am. I really want to know.
Yeah, it's just been one of those things. Christine has always just been like, nope, Interstellar.
Just
And I
canceled.
think it's just been like snowballed
Is
effect.
it one of those things that everybody likes, so you want to not like it to like be like different and unique?
No, the thing is, I actually don't like any of Christopher Nolan's films. I think he's hot trash.
Whoa.
Do you not like puppies and rainbows as well?
No, they bring joy, and I don't like it when things bring joy.
That's why we like
There we
Arrival
go,
when
we
it's
hit
sad.
it. We got it.
The root and the fruit. We
You do
got
like
it.
Dark Knight, right? Dark Knight,
Oh yeah, no, I like the Batman movies, but like Interstellar,
Dunkirk, you didn't like.
Inception.
Dunkirk, I didn't like. Inception is good, but like a lot of his movies, I just don't. I don't
I
like
think
them. I think
Dunkirk's
I don't
rough.
like his
Dunkirk's rough.
style very much.
You didn't care for Tenet.
Didn't care for
I don't know
Tenet.
if anyone cared for Tenet. Tenet was
Prestige?
rough.
I
You
actually
seen
have not
Prestige?
seen
Oh, okay.
Prestige.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That's-
That'll change your entire mind
Yeah.
I would
on
love to
him
hear,
and
like truly, not sarcastically, I would love to hear what you think about Prestige.
Yeah.
That one, I'd love to hear what anybody thinks about Prestige. That
Yeah,
one
Prestige
is
is a
like
good one.
Mhm.
top 5. For
we'll do
me.
a Christopher Nolan episode where we'll do Interstellar, and maybe Prestige.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And
There
then
you
me
go.
and
Sounds
Christine will fist fight in the middle of it.
I have to be there IRL for that one.
Yeah.
Get up here, girl. I got a word.
IRL, let's do it.
It just
Oh,
sort
man.
of snowballed out of effects, you know. It's just been a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been like her hot take for sure. And you liked it like immediately after, like it wasn't like after like a month and you're like, wait, you never mind. People like this, so I hate it. It's like immediately you came out and was like, that was awful. And I was like, okay.
Because
Can
you
I-
like Interstellar.
Yeah, I like it.
You
I
do
don't
like
love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we saw it together too.
Have you only seen it once?
No, I've seen it more than once.
Mhm.
Okay, because I was gonna say that's how I felt about Arrival too. I was like, it's whatever. But then the second time I watched it, I was like, no,
Masterpiece.
that's worth something.
Yeah.
That's for
The
sure
most
worth
interesting thing is that Interstellar is a science fiction movie, and I love science fiction movies, and it's just I can't.
Hmm.
can't
What-
I
It's
can't-
probably the Matthew McConaughey of it all.
All right.
That,
Or it
You know
wasn't
what?
all right.
what do you
I
think
can
it
tell you
is?
what it is,
Turn into therapy,
but
that's
this
why.
is turning into an Interstellar
What
podcast.
makes you
Yeah,
feel this way?
yeah, I have to know. I don't mean to turn this into therapy, but
It's just
who
one
are
of
you,
Kenzie's
Christine?
favorite
Why
films,
don't you-
so you understand.
Why don't you like what I like?
Me and Nick are the worst people, like in that way of why don't you like what I like? That
Oh
is
yeah, Michael and I
100%
just got into a
true.
fight about Spider-Man No Way
100%.
Home today.
And I hate that about myself, Christine. But also, why don't you like what I like?
Well, here's the truth. The whole concept to me is ridiculous. I like
Sure.
there's a fifth dimension and a library, and he goes through the fucking bookshelf to talk to his daughter in the past, and then it's like,
It's a lot.
this is
It-
Oh my god.
It is a lot.
Okay, Christine.
It is a lot. And you know what? I still don't understand how that is. Like, I know, like, what
Damn,
we're supposed to
dude.
take from it is, like, love
Oh, I love
conquers
it.
all, whatever. But really, how did that library get there? How
Right,
did
exactly.
that bookshelf get there in our
Christine,
school,
you're the best.
Christine?
They do
Do you know?
Thank-
'Cause I
weirdly
don't.
not explained. Yeah.
It's so unexplained and in a way that just is really infuriating and doesn't make any sense, and it's dumb. Just dumb. I can't handle it.
I just like to think it's just above my pay grade, and I don't know science enough to think about how that can
Mm.
happen. And
There's
time,
two levels to it. There's sometimes when you want to not be handheld and be like, don't insult my intelligence.
right? I want to figure it out
But then
myself.
there's also
but I
other
don't
times when
get
they
it.
add ingredients so far late in the game
Yeah.
that you're like, how was I ever going to
Right.
predict that
Mhm.
that could ever happen?
And this sounds dumb, but before I watched that movie, I didn't understand that if you go on a different planet, time moves differently.
Right.
That maybe that's dumb. I don't know.
Mm.
I haven't been
That's
on
not
another
dumb. It's not a
planet
common
personally.
concept.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you, Christine, for
Okay,
validating me.
thank you.
'Cause I walked out of there like,
Common
oh yeah, I
ground.
should have known that. But I feel like I was in that theater for 3 years and I'm not really sure about anything anymore. But
Yeah.
like all I know is at the end when he's holding an old lady's hand and it's his daughter. Fuck, I'm crying.
I'll get.
I'm
You got
crying.
me.
Shit.
And
you
that's
know?
when Michael's like, yeah, good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
holy
Yeah. No,
shit.
honestly, that's so true.
And
That
and
is
the
so
fact that she
true.
was like, turn your ass around and go get your friend. It was
Michael's like, I feel something. This movie's so
whoa.
good.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
this movie's gonna make me cry. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
See that interstellar moment you had? That's the moment I had in Arrival. That like,
Okay,
Yes,
fair
Whoa,
I
enough.
bringing it
understand.
back.
I
Whoa, look
understand.
at Christine.
Yeah.
Well,
with
and
the-
that's
Beautiful
why I
transition.
think that's why I'm so shocked because I feel like I see the same thing that I love about Interstellar in Arrival as well.
Whoa.
And so
Mhm.
that shocked me.
And I
that
think
you,
for Christine, it
yeah.
sounds like
But I
this was the
understand.
better version.
Yeah,
So
I
why
understand.
even?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was
understand.
the better version of a very similar concept, and the execution is different
Okay,
in both
Yeah.
movies.
it's a different style for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
some would say
Interesting.
better. That's fine.
That's fair.
Some would
I'm
say
open.
Arrival is 100 times
I'm
better,
open to
but-
other people's opinions.
Hey, and that, America, is how you civilly discourse.
Yeah, it's like people forgot how to do that or something.
Take
Yeah.
notes, America.
I hate
Biden
your
and Trump,
opinion,
listen up.
but you seem cool. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Right, but really, I think we just displayed a
Good
mature
job.
conversation.
That's right. Well done. Well done.
And
Thank
this
you.
will be how we get
Sisters
famous.
forever.
Well, that was lovely.
Thank
There's your
you.
spoiler-free review.
Yeah.
of
Thank
Arrival.
you. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. But that's a
And
podcast.
a
If you're
spoiler
inviting me,
review of Interstellar.
if you're inviting me, you don't know what to even title
That's
it yet.
right.
Just hold
That's
your
right.
horses, you know.
Yeah, and you
Just
bring
throw a
up a
little
movie
wine.
that like
Yeah.
I pure hate. Like I'm not gonna not talk about it.
I'm
Yes.
surprised. I'm gonna be interested to see what we title this episode. It's gonna be Arrival brackets mostly Interstellar.
In parentheses,
Mostly-
our sisters got out of hand. we will not invite them anymore. I'm sorry. You guys, did we ruin your show? I'm
No.
sorry.
Oh no, this is the
Alright,
best. This is
it's
the probably my
ours
favorite.
now.
I'm just.
I know. Yeah.
You can't
switch
ruin
over.
something that's mediocre.
You can't ruin something that no one listens to.
Amen. That's what we
Mm.
say to our fans every week.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay, let's get back on the train maybe
Yeah.
a little bit
Yes,
here.
take it away,
Let's do a
please.
spoiler review of Arrival.
for those who are listening,
Take it away.
Still.
Yeah. People were like, "Oh, what the
for
heck?"
those that are just
The
absolutely
brave
livid
souls.
with Christine.
I absolutely still just adore this movie. So let's I like so spoilers. I love the concept of time. I love the concept of like I think the scale again of this movie is just so large and so grand that it's just kind of like shocking to see these aliens, and when you first like meet them it's just like it's a shock to have
Yeah.
these giant
Mhm.
larger than life beings make us feel so small.
Yep.
I think that's really, and the score, as Kenzie you mentioned, like it's just so impactful. These large, just like huge sounds that like equate to the scale of these heptapods.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think I have a theory that I need to like go back and actually like really watch the movie to be. So like you know how Amy Adams like is kind of her whole deal is like time, and she learns about going back in time and like uh learning language and through the concept of a time loop. I think most of the time that the camera is on her, it doesn't move. And so like she is not affected by movement by like time. But when she's like other people are around her and moving, the camera moves and follows. So like I don't have it fully extrapolated out, but I feel
You're a
like
conspiracy
the
theorist,
way
yep.
that like the way that like the camera enhances our subconscious view of like of Amy Adams and how she's like unaffected by certain things. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like I just think
Cool.
like there's so much more to this movie that we're not seeing.
Yeah. There's also something I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this, but kind of just occurred to me. But there is something kind of biblical about her daughter. Her name's Hannah.
Hannah, because
Hannah.
it's a
Right.
palindrome.
Oh,
Mhm.
got it. Makes sense. In that, even before her life has been conceived, she's already affecting. Like, there's kind of like
Sure.
a prophecy of her, like, kind of foretold through these flash forwards. And then her life there serves such a purpose that like it affects Amy Adams. What's Amy Adams' character's name?
I don't know, Mrs. Amy Adams.
Miss Amy Adams. Okay.
The movie you love most. You just, it's like those little
Louise
details
Banks.
disappear. You're like, I
Louise.
don't know what his name is, but this movie
Louise,
Louise.
most
Yeah.
underrated actress ever, in my opinion.
Amy Adams.
She deserves an Oscar for this movie.
You're right.
I think it's
you're
her
right.
best movie.
You're
I
right.
agree with you.
You're right.
Yeah,
No doubt.
Besides
no doubt.
Enchanted.
No.
And
true facts. Best movie ever.
We're getting the hot takes for Christine.
I'm
I wasn't
full of
ready for
them.
that conversation.
I got a lot of hot takes.
But like not to like completely throw like predictions at, but it kind of feels like Hannah is like Jesus in a way where it's like she's being told of Hannah ahead of time.
Sure.
So it affects her decisions to be like, I need to figure out more. And because I need to know what this is about.
Sure.
And then when she finally comes, she's like, it's better for you to have lived here and died than for this to have never happened, even though I had the choice
Yeah, that's a
Yes.
to
fair
bring
point.
you into
Mhm.
this world or not. And I just think that's like, whoa.
That is
that's
pretty. Yeah, I didn't
pretty
think
profound.
of it that way.
And
yeah.
it's like the bookends of this movie are
Mhm.
it kind of like starts this
It's a cycle.
it starts and ends, and I just think that's really beautiful. And I think that's a little bit more like I think Hannah doesn't get the credit she
Yeah.
deserves when you watch this
Shout out
movie.
to
And be
Hannah.
like Hannah like I've literally affected the whole world's like
Yeah.
She was
existence,
kind
and
of
the heptapods are
finessing
like
things
Mhm.
the
before
reason
she was,
they
yeah.
can survive
Yeah.
too is because of Hannah.
Right.
You know.
hmm
And I think it's just so well done. Like the whole beginning of like, oh, you see Hannah in the beginning, and it's like, oh, she had a daughter and she lost it.
Correct.
Yes.
And you just
And that's why
never
she's,
think
like, a
about like,
sad
oh, it
person or
was
something,
actually
yeah.
like the
That's a
future.
dream of the
Like that's
future,
it's
yeah.
it's
They
edited.
did it
it's,
so
yeah.
well.
That's
Yeah.
I watched a video. The screenwriter, I forget his name. God bless him. Whatever his name is. Eric
Oh, Heisener?
Heisener. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I watched a video of him, and he said that the first and the last scenes were the only scenes that didn't get edited.
Wow,
Like he
Nice.
had those written ahead of time. He's like, I want this to be a mother-daughter film.
beautiful.
hmm
It's like, wait, you're telling me some guy sat in his basement and was like, this needs to be a mother and daughter film, but there's also going to be these big ass hand aliens. This dude's nuts. I love it.
Eric, my boy.
Like, that's the kind of shit where you're just like, you are a gifted individual. Where you're like, this is the story I want to tell, and guess what? It doesn't matter what the middle ingredients
Mhm.
are, because the base of what I'm working, the foundation of what I'm dealing with is very human.
I almost think it's like, I don't want to say the only way for it to be told, but like I think it makes it that much more powerful.
Yeah.
It
like,
does.
Yeah, I think in having like the time travel aspect
Christine's
too.
like, preach, baby.
And it's
Preach.
like, oh, go, let's
Tell
go.
it, Michael. Tell it.
Amen, baby.
Yes and amen. I
We'll
think.
let them have their moment.
God bless.
I just think like, yeah, again, like the differences between like what is humanity really, and what is humanity is our love for one another,
Yeah.
and it's our
Community.
devotion to wanting each other to just have the best lives we can, and even if it is a short life, it is still beautiful, and every life is beautiful. And so I just love the feeling of like, yes, I'm going to bring this person into the world, and they're going to be hurt, and everything's going to be rough, but I love this person so much that I could not go my whole life without having them because I
Yeah.
love them so much.
Well, and to even double down on that, you love that person so much that you're willing to love a person to conceive the child, even though you know they're not going to make it
Yeah.
with you
Yeah.
in
They're gonna get
marriage in
angry.
the end.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm willing to sacrifice even that to be like, this person isn't like, and she tried her best. Like, she's like, I'm going to explain everything to you. And Jeremy Renner's just like, yo,
I'm Hawkeye.
which that might be the
No.
only. Yeah, he did
He
say
wasn't
that.
like
He kind of did feel like Hawkeye in this film. He's kind of just there,
Yeah.
He's
Um,
100% just
Not
there.
memorable.
which is what I was gonna say is like
Agreed.
kind of the weakest point is of this film.
But it's
where,
not about him. I mean,
agreed,
to
agreed.
the point, yeah.
But he does feel like a plot device, which is you will be a dad soon, and it's gonna make sense later, and like that's it. you
Yeah,
know?
I think one
Well,
of the
I
weaker. Go for it.
To be fair, most of the time the woman is just the plot device of the entirety of like How I Met
Oh,
Your
hey.
Mother. Oh, you
Amen.
know, like
Amen.
you're just here
Sure.
to be the mom. So it's like kind of a role reversal almost. Like, oh, you're just here because
I
you're gonna
love that you
gonna
said
be the
that.
father.
That's French. best friends.
Christine, we're
redemption.
friends again.
We back on it.
You feminist girl.
But the thing I was gonna say is like it blows my mind that he still finds what she's saying to be crazy, even after
Yeah.
all they've been
I
through.
think
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
I think there's kind of like two camps to that response of like I want this person to have this life and love them, but he's a little bit more like mathematical and a little bit more like
Sure.
numbers based, where it's like, wait, why would I bring this person in if
Yeah,
they're gonna
that's
be in
true.
pain? Like I understand his
I
point
get
of
it.
view,
I
and
get
so
it.
he gets mad at. I think he gets mad at her for not
It's
having
not that
the
he's
choice.
not a not believer. It's that he.
Never got the choice to begin with.
Oh.
Yeah, and I also
shit.
think that he didn't know ahead of
Forgot
time
that.
Yeah.
because at the end of the movie, she specifically asked him, if you knew everything that was going to happen to your life, would you change any of it? And he was like,
Oh, you're
no,
right.
I don't think so.
So she
And
just didn't really
yeah.
explain what she meant.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, let's do this thing. And then she's like,
Yeah.
sweet, I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to
We're about
tell you
have
that
a
our
baby who's not gonna make
our
it.
daughter's
Yeah.
gonna die.
Can you think about though?
Whoa.
And I know I always pull this like, at more of a feminist point of view, but if the roles were reversed and it was him who saw the future,
Whoa.
and he knew that if he produced this daughter with this girl and she was gonna die, like,
Would he have made the same decision?
well, would she have more of a right to be pissed off?
Oh, because she's like bearing the child.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That
Interesting.
because
So
from
that
my
almost
point of
makes
view,
you
I would be like,
understand Jeremy Renner more.
yeah,
a little
like
bit.
when I'm in Amy Adams' point of view, I'm like, I agree. Because I don't regret, like, I mean, the mistakes I've made in the past. I'm still glad I had relationships that I had, even if they did, if
Sure.
they failed, whatever. They all taught me something, whatever.
Yeah.
So I see her point of view, but I'm like, if I'm the woman in the dark burying the child, knowing that this
Yeah.
child isn't going to survive, I'd be pissed off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
I didn't
As a
even
woman,
think
I would
about
be
it that way,
upset.
so you guys have opened
Yeah,
my eyes
I would
to
be
that.
upset. So that makes me sympathize with him. Like, and they're, like
Fair
you
enough.
said, he has more of a kind of strategical, logic point
Sure.
of view rather
Or
logic
she's
over
like,
love
hey, I
kind of thing.
science the shit out of this, but
Yeah.
also guess
She's
what?
like,
Time.
isn't this
Yeah.
still beautiful and valuable? And yes, it is. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Whoa.
like love versus law, basically.
Mm.
And I
Yes.
think
Mhm.
Jeremy's law and Amy Adams is love. And so
there's no hint that she even like resents him. She's just like a person
No.
that's still full of love. She's like, I totally understand why he did what he did.
Mhm.
hmm
Anyway.
Yeah. She
yeah.
like 100% is like, I get it. I know why he left. Like, it's a lot.
Whoa.
Yeah.
yeah, anyway, some
Those
people might
Avalas
be
might be
changing their opinions on
persuading
this
the
this
cruisers.
movie.
That's just a thought I had just now.
That's
I don't
wild.
know. I mean, something to think about.
No, I'm glad we're talking about this because there's layers. This is an onion of a
Because
movie.
Yeah.
when I think about that makes me sympathize with him more. But I agree with her, and like, things are still beautiful even if they don't last forever, and
Mhm.
you still
Mm.
they're still worth it.
That's like that's still one of my favorite lines from the MCU is the Vision in Age of Ultron,
Right.
the movie that everyone shits on, is he is talking to Ultron and he's like, why do you even care about these people? And Vision's just like, something isn't beautiful because it lasts.
Mhm.
It's like, oh damn, dude, that dude's a robot. And he's saying that shit. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
That dude's a robot.
Hell yeah, that's
Just
so
like, let's
true.
go, dude.
Yep.
That's great.
He's like the most human person in the entire MCU. Let's go.
Well, there's like a Taylor Swift quote too. It's from her song "The One" or whatever. It's like, what is it? She says, "We know the greatest loves of all time are over now."
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa,
That's
shit.
so true.
I do have a new opinion for when we get into The Prisoners about Jake Gyllenhaal. I will be taking Taylor Swift's new music
He
video.
is
into
F- canceled.
I'm coming for your ass, but he's a good actor. We're
Yeah.
coming for your
Great
ass.
actor. Did great in that movie, but you fucked up Taylor Swift, and I don't like it.
You're on my list.
So there's a little,
There's a little teaser.
stinger, a little teaser for The Prisoners. We're coming for you, Jake Gyllenhaal. But good job.
But good job.
But seriously,
I still like
coming
you.
for you.
Oh man.
But
Damn it.
like,
Holy shit, I love when All Too Well came out, the 10-minute version. Okay, we all know T Swift's on the top of the world right now. But someone goes, Yeah, The Day After Tomorrow isn't that good anyway. You know what? I love that movie, but yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
I love it. I love it. All right, so those were like the huge points.
Yeah.
What are our thoughts on like just base level? What are our thoughts on how they portrayed the aliens? Because originally this movie was going to be they basically sent down giant TV screens
Mm,
and they Skyped us.
mm.
But they ended up doing the spaceship and they actually physically were with us.
That's so much better. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
100%, so much better.
I'm
Yeah.
over Zoom. Let's go.
Well, this is what Zoom before was. Oh,
This was what are your thoughts on the aliens? Because I felt like this alien was super unique in the fact that it wasn't that humanoid.
Yeah.
They did a good job of making
Completely
it
different.
otherworldly, yet somehow this gentle giant.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job on the aliens because they look different than most of the other aliens we've seen before. But like, I also wanted to mention that that's why the movie got me, is because she sees this future. She knows the pain and the heartbreak she's going to feel, and she chooses it anyway. She makes her choice, and it ends with her saying, "Yes, I do want to have a child." And when I rewatched the movie over the weekend, the aliens are bringing them this gift of the language and the ability to see across time,
Right.
but it sounds like the time that they give to people that they can see is not actually the real future, because the Chinese military general sees his wife dying because of war, but what Amy Adams tells him makes him not go to war and his wife lives. So it seems like you still have a choice on whether or not you can
Right.
get that future. And I think
Correct.
that's really moving, that you still have a choice in whether or not that happens. And she still chooses to make that choice. She still chooses to go ahead. And I think that the aliens are really just a representation of learning about love and the importance of love and time. And I think they're just more of a vessel. And it's interesting because it's so different than like other alien movies where it's like they're all mean and bad, and
Yeah.
they're more kind. They're like, we want to help you. they don't just dip.
Yeah. They are this vessel, and like we try and just they're not even like they're not we can't they don't even speak. Like they have a written language, and it's just like completely different from where like any other like a Klingon or like something like so all these other alien species in like Star Wars where they like have some kind of vocalization, and this is just like here's some ink.
Yeah.
And so it's like what's the hardest way for us to communicate with something completely different than us? And I think this is an example of that. Yeah, and I love probably my favorite quote is when she's talking to the general, the Chinese general, and she does the Chinese proverb, and I think it roughly translates to like war makes widows, not heroes, or something like that.
Yeah, it's a
And
war only
so
makes widows. Yeah.
yeah, and so like that's woo
That's so
wolf.
good.
Yeah.
Let's just get a wolf on that.
Mhm.
So like
So good.
I think like and just breaking down this stern man to be like to not look at him as this aggressive general, but as a human and being
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
look, you're gonna create maybe you'll win, whatever, but
Mhm.
you're gonna create so much hardship and just pain for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think yeah, that spoke to his humanity, and
Mhm.
he
That's
understood.
awesome.
Well, there's even like wars throughout history where it doesn't even the casualties might not even be that many, but because they went to war, countries were like lost
Yeah.
because
Oh
they
yeah.
Mhm.
sent too many people and the resources just got
Mm-hmm.
screwed. And so then, all that stuff. So, amen
Mm-hmm.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
That's the lovely feminine touch of arrival. It's like, let's wait a minute. Let's think about that.
let's be gentle. Yeah. Well, and the heptapods too. I mean, if you think about it, if they truly are giving us this gift of seeing in the future, then was it Abbott or Costello who bit the bullet?
I think
Abbott.
yeah,
Abbott.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Abbott
sure.
had to know ahead of time
that he was gonna die.
he was gonna die,
Mm-hmm.
And he
and like was like,
sacrificed
it's worth it.
himself for them.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that we were just gonna pull the trigger at some point
Mm-hmm.
because we're scared.
Yeah.
You know, and that's insane. Like, again, like there's just this level of like, in order to get things done, it does require sacrifice, and sometimes it's like unfair sacrifice.
Mhm.
You know, like Abbott was trying to basically be like, I want my entire species to live,
Mhm.
even if that means that I have to die. You
Mhm.
know, and Hannah's the same way. It's
Yeah.
like, if Hannah wouldn't have been a dream or something that was in the future for Louise, then
None of this
maybe
would
she wouldn't have
happen.
made those choices. So it's like sometimes it does require like a sacrifice in order for there to be peace. So
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, no doubt.
GG's Arrival. Good game, good game.
It was nominated for Best Picture, but unfortunately did not win. So
No, I don't know
Well, I
what
think-
won
I
that
think
year.
people
Was it
just are
Spotlight or
like,
something?
Did it
who's
win for
Denis
scoring?
Villeneuve?
I think it did win for
It
score.
won for sound editing.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
But
Spotlight
that's
won
weird
that
because
year.
the Oscars are like sound editing, sound kind of editing, and
Well, the sound editing
super
is sound
editing.
mixing.
Sound
They have, like-
mixing.
They have
Yeah.
like, they have
Yeah,
like
the Oscars
four,
are kind of a joke right
Yeah.
now, honestly.
but it was nominated for. I don't know. Maybe it was just sound editing.
It should have been nominated for Best Picture.
It
Did
was
you?
nominated for Best Picture,
Oh, sorry.
I
Yeah.
thought.
Best achievement in sound editing, picture of
Yeah.
the year, achievement in directing. Denis got the
The nom.
adapted screenplay.
Oh yeah, it is technically it's a book.
Yeah, it was just technically a book. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and the whole twist that like it was the future and not the past, I didn't see that coming. I was dumb.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm an idiot.
In a book, I don't know how you would see that.
hmm
I mean,
What is the book that it's based off of?
Oh, it's like it has a completely different name.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
like many years of something, or I don't know.
And it's like a short story.
Yeah, it is
Wow.
it's different. It's pretty different. I've heard. But yeah, I think some of the best twists are when you don't even like obviously don't see them coming. But this one is like I don't even know if anyone could have been like, yeah, you know what, Hannah, yeah, that was her daughter in the future, and what we saw was totally in the future. So it's
I
like
don't
no
know
one's
if
gonna
that
guess
is a
that. So like
predictable thing.
that last like 20 minutes of like just like piecing it all together is like that's why I love movies, is that moments
Yeah.
like that where it's like
Mhm.
whoa, okay, now I'm piecing this together and like figuring it out and being like I gotta like this is why I like movies.
Yep.
So I think
Agreed.
that's why I'm like Arrival's the best.
Well,
Yeah.
I was rewatching it the other day, and my boyfriend comes home and I was like, "Well, you didn't get the twist, right? That it was her daughter." And he said, "Oh no, I figured that out. It was pretty obvious. Why would she be that sad? She has no idea what's going on. Look at her
He's
facial
lying,
expression."
he's
And I'm like,
lying,
"You
he's a
did not
liar,
know
fake,
that."
phony,
Yeah.
fraud.
I was like, "You did not know that."
F minus.
I was like, "You're just cheating."
Oh,
Just tell
those
your
are the worst.
boyfriend you're just like Interstellar, canceled.
Oh, I'll tell him. I'll be like,
Bada
"It's
bing,
been
bada
6
bing.
years. You're canceled. I'm done with you."
Canceled.
Oh man. You're just like Interstellar. You're straight
Yeah.
hot garbage.
Just like
You're
Nick said,
straight-
he's like, who the
Oh my
hell
God,
is
you guys
Nick?
are
We'll be like, "Who?"
He's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, the boy Nick got
Nick
it.
told me to say
Oh my
you're
God.
canceled.
Yeah, that's what I was like. No, you didn't. It's not obvious.
No,
No.
there's no way.
Yeah, it's like it's done so well that you actually think that she had a daughter and like that she's sad or depressed or she's going through it because her daughter's just died. It's all inherently explained, and then you
Yeah.
realize,
Mhm.
oh, like you realize it kind of right before. You realize it when Jeremy Renner uses the same word and she tells the daughter, and it's like, wait a second.
I mean, yeah, you see the drawing of like the aliens,
Yep.
and it's like mommy
Yeah.
talks to the animals.
Mommy talks to the animals, and watching it back, you can tell like the little
Oh, yeah.
hints
Yeah.
that
It's like,
they
"Oh,
put
it's
in.
so obvious.
The
That's
only way
so
to know if your
lovely, though.
boyfriend is true is if you go to him and be like, Nick said you're canceled. And he goes, you mean Nick from Not Us United? And you're like,
oh, he's
Never
so
mind,
he can see
redemption.
time. He can see time.
He'd be like your number one fan. He was like, "Oh yeah, I have their T-shirt."
Yeah, remember when they talked about this Dune sequel? I love that part.
I already bought merch and they don't even sell it. You're like,
Yeah.
oh
He was
my
like, "I'm-
god, this guy gets it.
I'm first in line.
He's a real one.
Oh,
It just says that line at the end. If you knew what was coming next, would you? Or what?
Would
What's
you?
the?
Yeah, if you knew what was coming next, would you still choose to do it?
You're just like, oh,
Oh,
oh.
wow, that just gives me goosebumps. That line. Oh, so good.
It is excellent.
It really is. I
Mm.
love that. I love a movie you can't guess the ending to. I
Oh, yeah.
really
Yeah.
Those are my favorite.
Was this one that you actually?
Oh no, how would I,
No,
and
I know,
I
I
know
mean-
I'm pretty good at it usually. I'm like, oh, well, I'm thinking this connects to this and that, whatever. But yeah, I love when the concept is like so much bigger that it's like, no, you can't piece that together. It's so
Mhm.
Sure.
much bigger than you think it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my favorite.
and he writes his movies that way. Like he does that a lot, where
Right.
he makes it like a twist. He's pretty good at those.
Yeah, but it's not like, and
Shyamalan.
God bless him, Night
Yeah.
Shyamalan. But there are definitely some duds there where it's like I'm getting you ready for the twist.
Right.
Sometimes he is a little too formula by the formula for
Everybody's
twist.
hurting my feelings.
No, hey,
No.
I love M Night Shyamalan.
I will stand by
There are
him.
still,
That's my man, and I'm
I'm
gonna
just
stand
saying,
by him.
but I think he gets the freedom because that's kind of his thing.
Right.
That
Yeah,
I
it's
think
his
like in
stuff.
order to just do that, to just copy what he does wouldn't feel good. And I feel like Denis does a good job of not not filling the movie with here's another question, here's another question. You're never gonna guess. You're never gonna guess. Like he still gives you enough that you're entertained throughout the whole film, and
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
still delivers at the end where it's
Mhm.
not just fully.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't.
Oh, you didn't
expect
see that coming.
did
No,
ya?"
it feels like he does it so well and so beautifully where it's
He
just
doesn't
like
overbear it.
yeah, it's unexpected. It's just like it's not like okay, well then he's gonna meet the girl and then he's gonna shoot up the building and blow it up. It's like okay, well I have no idea what to expect from this director because he could
Right.
take it any
It's
direction.
like
He
the whole
doesn't-
concept's above your head.
He
Yeah.
cares
It's like,
more
don't
about.
try to guess because we will just slowly ease you into something
Yeah.
that you don't even know is coming.
And I feel like
Yeah.
he truly does curate what he picks to do like the movie that has the most heart to it,
Mhm.
where you're leaving
I
the
agree.
film going, damn, dude,
You got
Holy
me.
you
shit.
made me feel some shit, dude.
In an
And I saw some
alien
tentacle
movie, you made me,
monsters coming
you
from a
made me
little
cry
being.
at an alien
Whereas
movie.
like M Night Shyamalan,
That's not
while
the first time I've cried.
I do feel things when I watch M Night Shyamalan, but for the most part, it's like, oh, you're never gonna guess what happens next.
Mhm.
You're still never gonna, and
Yeah.
then he does something that's like, I didn't guess that. You're right.
Well,
You know what I mean?
and I feel like we kind of got into this when we have recorded this podcast about Arrival as well
We have.
before, and it's in the abyss. I don't know where it is,
Yeah.
but we kind of got into this too, where we started talking about M Night Shyamalan and Signs, and how that was also an alien movie that ended up being about family and being about
Amen.
love,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I mean his newest one, Old, like. M. Night Shyamalan is a loose cannon. When he releases a movie, you're like, boy, what are you doing? Is this going to be groundbreaking?
Yeah,
Am I going to love it?
You let
And
it stay out for 2 weeks, and
is
then
it
you
going to
just check.
defend the fact that I still idolize you, or are you going to embarrass me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Old was incredible.
Old was
Oh,
good.
Was
I
it
need to
not?
see it.
Old was good.
It
Mm.
deserves its own episode. It was so good.
Old was good.
And it's kind of one of those, again, where you kind of can piece it together as you go along, but it still is like, this is new.
Yeah,
There's
it was
not
definitely
another
one of those
movie
where
like
even if you
this.
knew like 75% of what was going on, you still couldn't guess the
Nope.
last 25.
And there is
Yeah.
not another.
No,
It's
was
not
very
the
good.
same. It's totally different. And
yeah. Anyway,
I'm gonna stand by him.
old.
Let's just say there's a beach and it makes you old, right? Am I right? I know exactly what goes
You
on.
got
You are
parts of it
right.
right.
You're right,
You
Michael.
got parts of it right.
It's so good. If you have not seen Old, go
All
see
right,
it.
I'll have to check it out.
And the poster, sickening.
Sickening.
The poster is good.
Sickening.
Straight Illin. Straight whack, dude.
I've agreed with everything you've said this podcast, Nick, except for that.
You're canceled.
Dude, I gotta get us like the young crowd, dude. We're too old.
We're too old for this.
We're straight whack. We're straight Fortnite, y'all.
Yeah, I know. Fortnite Dan's V-Bucks. You know what I mean?
Minecraft, baby.
Yeah. Diamonds. Anyways.
Microtransactions.
All right.
Anyway.
next.
I think it's time to maybe wrap that
Reel
up.
it in.
All right. But yeah, I guess Sora the Zavala is saying this is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Oh yeah, 100%.
100%.
100%.
Kenzie, what do you give this?
On its own.
Forget Interstellar.
I know.
Forget that trash.
I'm gonna ignore. I'm gonna
Christine,
ignore how much
stop
has been
for
hurt
2
in the last hour.
We need her to finish this episode.
God damn it!
Christine's like, yeah, forget that hot garbage.
Yeah, that
dude.
piece of doo-doo water.
Straight shit.
I'm also wine drunk, so I'm emotional.
Damn it.
But
We're never gonna end this podcast.
so, on its own, not compared to something else that we know
That
we're
shall not be
comparing it
named.
to, I would also give it a 10 out of 10.
Oh, welcome to the Zavala Fair.
I know. I know.
rival.
I can be reasonable,
Masterpiece.
you guys.
Master.
I'm not a fool. It's a lovely piece of work.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I'm not a fool like Nick.
Wait,
Yeah.
you don't even. I haven't even spoken for myself.
I'm just messing with
Hold on. I'd say at least 4 out
But-
of 10.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
oh
I'm
my
kidding.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
you're
I'm kidding.
kicked out.
That's a
Cancel.
strong 4. No, I'm just kidding. Hold on.
4.5. 4.5.
But for real, not compared to anything
Mm-hmm.
on its own.
On its own, there are little to no flaws with this movie.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Like, what would you change if you could change something? Nothing, right?
Maybe make Jeremy Renner's role more apparent.
That's the only thing I can
I do
think
think
of.
that is the
but it's
Maybe,
like,
yeah,
is that even
maybe.
enough to
Biggest
dock it? Though?
That
Right.
but that's
But
like the
also,
only thing.
Would that distract from the main thing?
I think it would.
I think
Yeah.
it would
I
too.
think
It's not.
yeah, I
It's
think
not
you're
about
right.
him.
Yeah, it's true. No, the way you guys
Men are
explained
trash,
it
it's not
to
your
me
story.
and opened my eyes to that.
Not
made
your
me
turn.
Go, wait, yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. So, yeah, I don't think there's anything to stand on. So, I think your boy has to also jump in and say it's a 10 out of 10.
Oh my God.
Hey,
This is a beautiful moment.
This is the best podcast
I thought about
ever.
getting like a tattoo
All
of like one
agreed.
of the heptapod circles of like
Oh, yeah, human.
or something.
Oh, we've talked about that.
Well,
We've talked about
That
that.
would
That
be
would be
vigorously.
cool.
lovely.
It'd be a cool tattoo.
Oh, you know
It's-
what,
it's-
Christine, we're
it's-
looking
it's
for a
big
tattoo.
in-
Yeah.
idea, actually.
I can
actually,
get a tattoo on
Michael,
somebody's
I'm
body.
down because this is probably one of our favorite movies. This and Mad Max.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you
You
guys
guys
get like a
should. That'd be so
a mask
cute.
tattoo to your face.
Oh,
Or
yeah, right on the
somewhere
face.
else. Or somewhere else.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Christine, we'll
yeah.
chat. That's a
We'll
that's a
talk
good idea.
offline.
Or maybe we can get a Not Us United. In a circle. In a
no.
circle.
I'll get the circle as human, and then around it say "Not as united."
Yes.
I have
Humans
had
not united.
ideas of doing an interstellar tattoo somehow. I'm sorry.
You
Christine, I
you guys
know.
can do
Sorry.
that. You too.
Oh, is it gonna be a picture of a
You know what? I don't want to match with you guys, so it doesn't matter.
Is it a picture of trash? I don't know.
It's just a little tiny garbage can.
A little library full of garbage cans.
Is it a dog taking a big old poo because it's straight poopy?
Oh my god! My feelings are hurted.
It has Timothy Chalamet in it, guys. Chill.
Yeah, come
Interstellar?
on, baby Timmy
Yeah,
Chalamet.
he
Does it?
It
He's young
does?
Casey
You
Affleck.
have to support. Oh, you didn't know that, Christine?
I
He's
didn't
young
know
Casey
that.
Affleck.
Wait,
No,
who's,
I don't
is
remember
he
that.
his
He's
son?
Matthew
He's
McConaughey's
Matthew
son.
McConaughey's son.
Oh, well, as long as
now
you're
all of a sudden
little.
you guys care.
My little boyfriend's in it, so now you like
Oh,
it.
well.
Oh, no, it's still
Oh,
definitely
well,
trash.
It's a big
Well,
piece of trash
well.
with nice hair. All right. Got
It has nice hair, okay? Good cheekbones. I'll give it that.
it.
Good cheekbones. You're so right, Christine. Oh my god,
It's
that
not
jawline.
trash.
Oh my
It's
God.
just love it.
Oh, jeez.
I love Timmy. What a
Timmy
king.
Chal.
Well,
You know,
here's
and I never
oh.
thought I'd reach the day where I was not the biggest Timmy Chalamet fan in this house, but
Mm.
that day has come. I am second place to Nick.
you
Oh,
ain't wrong.
it's because
But
he's
did I
Paul.
Straight facts.
Did I not call it? I know we're getting off topic, but did I not call it? When I saw Call Me By Your Name, I was like, this boy, I swear to God,
You shot your shot.
has got
Hmm.
something.
Got a little
And
something.
now he's now he's just,
Oh, he's
the
Mr.
little star
Here's
Oh,
the
oh,
Princess
Muad'Dib.
Hot Rock, my guy.
I love him.
Let's get it.
I'm
Good
gonna
psychotic
stand
rock,
by
yeah.
him and M. Night Shyamalan. I'm gonna stand by him.
What if they make a movie together?
I would die.
Ooh.
I-
My
I
hope
would
is that
die.
he will actually be in an MCU movie, and I'm calling it. I think he'll be Harry Osborn.
That would be
Boom.
He-
iconic.
yeah.
That would be
He
awesome.
probably
That
will.
would be my perfect casting.
you know
he could
what?
be evil,
Yeah,
but he is handsome.
he could be a little naughty. Yeah.
He could
But
be a
he's
little
like that
naughty.
rich
he's
white
gonna
boy
kill me,
naughty.
bud.
I like it. Yeah, I know.
Man, this
Gonna kill me, but kind of like it.
Yeah, this guy's gonna stab me,
All
but
right, I'm
man,
wondering,
he's got
get
good
me off this
cheekbones.
mic.
So, all right, what we learned from our Arrival podcast is
Christine
that
Oh.
and Kenzie are
Interstellar
canceled
has
'cause
some
we're not allowed on here anymore.
We're done.
We
you
blew
came
it,
here
girl.
to listen to about Arrival, and you got more than you were expecting. That's right, because Not Us United is a buffet, and we give you whatever you're looking for.
That's right.
So you may have heard a podcast about Arrival because it is kind of an older film, 2016. But now you've heard from us, Not Us United. Thanks, everybody.
Amen.
Bye-bye.
And cut.
Oh,
Oh
What
my
the
god. Christine, we gotta get drinks, girl, you and me.
I know, right?
you guys.
You've just listened to Not Us United. You can find us under Not Us United on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Please leave us a review and consider subscribing to our podcast. You can reach out for future podcast topic suggestions at notusunitedpod@gmail.com.